Thank you, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. I have a confession to make. But before I start, I would like to ask the audience a question. So I just want you guys to tell me what are some of the common fears that people experience today. You can just shout it out.
Height.
Public speaking.
Public speaking.
Public speaking.
Answering questions.
Fear of flying.
Fear of the unknown.
Yeah, good one. So as you can see, fear is something that a lot of people actually experience. And this might come as a shock to you, but the number one most common fear is actually the fear of public speaking. Can anyone guess what number 2 is?
Dying while public speaking.
Close,
Oh.
close. Number 2 is death. Death is the number 2 most common fear. Very interesting. If this was true, this would mean that for the average person, if you were to go to a funeral, you'd be better off dead than doing a eulogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my confession. My confession is I have social anxiety. I have a fear of speaking in public, but somehow I made it here today because I'm taking some steps to be progressive. So I want to talk about how we can overcome fear. So fear is a very common emotion that people experience. And today I'm going to share with you 3 powerful tips that I'm currently using and works wonders and would help anyone overcome their fears. So the first one is to understand your fear and embrace it. So for most people, they're afraid because of lack of information or some misconception. If that's the case for you, all you have to do is learn about your fear by asking yourself 3 questions. So the first question you'd ask yourself is, what are you afraid of? And then you can ask yourself why. And then you can look at how you can overcome that fear. When you understand your fears, it actually helps you to overcome it because you know what you're afraid of, you know how, and you know why you can overcome it. The second tip I'm going to share with you is to find a motivation. So how many here likes money?
Oh yeah.
Money, right? Money.
Woohoo. Oh.
That's lots of money, right?
Wow. That is so much cash.
What if I told you that money is the reason why I'm here today? Well, it's one of the reasons why I'm here today.
Thank you.
Jennifer.
Let me explain. Don't touch it. So a few months ago, when I was actually thinking about joining the Toastmasters, I have a friend, her name is Christine. We actually motivate each other to be better. And I went to Christine and I told her, Christine, I really want to overcome my fear of speaking in public. And we talked about it, we laughed, we joked. And she actually called me a few days after we talked about this, and she was like, Pam, this is really good that you want to overcome your fear. And she told me, she's like, what if I give you $200 if you can join the Toastmasters and complete 50 speeches by the end of the year? And I thought about it for a second. I was like, this is great. It's a great way. But I actually took on the challenge and I was able to join the Toastmasters, and I'm here giving the speech. But there's a catch though. Like if I don't finish this, if I don't do the 50 speeches, I'm going to be giving Christine $200. But I must say it's a really good motivating factor. Like money, for me it's money, but just you need to find something that's really that can motivate you very well. And once you find that, you will be able to overcome your fear. And the last tip is very easy and simple. Just fake it till you make it. When you're doing something that you really hate or you really fear, just pretend that you're doing like something that you really like. And it's gonna really help you. So to conclude, fear is a very common emotion, but I want to challenge you all to overcome your fears by understanding it and embracing it, finding a motivation, and fake it till you make it. With fear, there are only two things. The first option is you can choose to avoid your fear and do nothing about it, or you can choose to do something about your fear. You can choose to take control of it and overcome it. For me, I chose to overcome it. And and I want to ask you, what about you guys? What would you choose?
The money.